Good evening, everyone. Let's give a few minutes here and let people join in. Still have a few coming in. All right, well, let's get started. My name is Silas Holner, principal of the junior high school. Thank you for joining us tonight. Just wanted to say shout out to the faculty here at the junior high school. They are just doing a great job. We are so appreciative for the 10 days of planning time and professional development time, and we are putting in a lot of hours and creative energy and just into everything, into learning. How to be better prepared for hybrid learning and remote learning. We were even just talking yesterday about, being ready to pivot. We need to pivot to go right from hybrid right into remote should the situation call for it. And so we are working hard on those things. I know in my last Q&A, I said I was going to try. I said I'd get the teams out by last Friday, and I got the teams and supply list out by last Friday. So if you, for some reason, you did not get those, please send me an email, and so that we can make sure that you get what team you're on and the supply list. I said I was going to try and get the cohorts out by midweek. I haven't quite got to that yet. We're still working hard on. There's just so many moving pieces to bring together, but we are working on getting the cohorts. I would intend to, but before weekends end, get an email out to everybody with schedule information, orientation information, team information, cohort information, and schedule information as well. So plan is to try and get all of that out before weekends end. Just so you know, what we got coming up, we do have a virtual student orientation on Tuesday, the 15th. For 7th graders, it's going to be at 10 o'clock. And for 8th graders, it's going to be at 11 o'clock. And that will be part of that information that I'll get out to you as far as getting, most importantly, the Zoom links out from the teams so that your child will know what Zoom to connect with on Tuesday. And I'm pretty sure that there's going to be Chromebook distribution. I haven't actually seen the communication that's gone out for it, but Chromebook distribution on Monday. If you need that, you can. If you don't need that until you can get it on Tuesday or Thursday or Friday in school, you can do that. But we should have a Chromebook pickup. I think it's going to be scheduled for Monday at different opportunities during the day. So student orientation, that's to make sure that all the kids are prepared for their first day of school on Wednesday, which is a total hybrid out day. All 8 classes will meet. Like I said, I'll publish that all of the information that I get to you before the end of the weekend will include the bell schedule, if you will, of what the kids are expected to do that day, and we'll be taking attendance and all the such. We desire, and our expectation is, we will have also Google Classrooms built for everything, and we're going to need your help in getting the kids signed on to Google Classroom. Their classroom will already be in there. We just need to make sure that they accept and become part of their Google Classroom before the first day of school on Wednesday. And we'll give them some help with that during the student orientation as well. But if you could help back that up and make sure, hey, are you ready for school on Wednesday? Have you joined all your Google Classrooms? Have you accepted all the invitations? Let's see. A lot of people are asking about transportation. They're at the 95% solution. We should be getting the routes very soon. At this point, though, if you want to do a change in transportation as far as adding to get on the bus, we're going to have to put you on a waiting list because we just have to stop the flow at some point so we can establish the routes and get people, the kids situated and the bus is established, and then make adjustments based on a waiting list. So that is coming forth as well. So we should have the transportation information soon too. Other than that, I've got time for question and answers. I've also got and you can raise your hand, or I prefer if you please type in your question and I will get to as many as I can. First question, it says here, if a child can't be able to pick up a Chromebook, can they use theirs at school and at home? We're going to end up giving every kid a Chromebook. If at home you can do what you want, but at school they should be using the school issued Chromebook. It just gives us greater security and such for the kids. So everyone's going to get a Chromebook. You can use your own at home because Google is cloud-based, so you can use any device, but they might lose some functionality with some of the school provided apps that come with Google. So we are highly encouraging that people don't use their personal Chromebooks. But like I said, if for the opening Zooms and stuff, we can use your own personal Chromebooks, but all of those Zooms need to be signed in using the oldrochester.org email address, not a personal email address when it comes to signing in to the Google, to the Zoom meetings. Let's see. The next question, what is the school policy for a student returning from COVID high-risk state when they are in hybrid in-person model? The Mass Child Reform requires a 2-week quarantine or a negative COVID test for ages 11 up. Yeah, we got to stick with the same guidance. I don't know the exact details on it, but we need to go with the state guidance and follow the regulations. If you are in that situation, I highly recommend you call our school nurse, and she will give you very clear guidance on what to do. Will there be a virtual back to school night? We're going to have like an open house back to school night, parent night. I'm going to do that around the first week of October. I haven't set a date yet, but first week of October, I want us to be able to, with everything being so disrupted and so changed and so different for the junior high, like I've said before, I think the junior high has gone through the most radical change to adjust to the pandemic safety situation. It's with schedule and just the way we function as a school. So I want to be able to get us rolling and some of the bugs worked out so that we can better be ready to share and present what we're doing here at the junior high school. So looking at the first week of October for our back to school night for the parents. What will gym and PE look like? They're going to be doing a lot of going outside when the weather is good, and then they're following the mask guidelines. I think they have to be at 10 feet apart outside, and the activities are non-contact. And then if there is there's a part where we're going to have gloves if there's a ball involved in the game, and then disinfecting and all of that in between as well. So we're still working on some of the details, but we're making safety first. But at the same time, we want kids to be able to get outside and get some activity during the day. The online orientation on Tuesday, it's 10 o'clock for 7th graders and 11 o'clock for 8th graders. And I will be getting those Zoom links out to all the parents. So you can please help us get those kids online. Who do you contact in regards to 504 plans? Please contact the guidance counselor. For 7th grade, that's Julie Taylor. And for 8th grade, that is Sherry DeCellis. What time is the Chromebook I don't have the time. I'm sorry, I don't have the time for the Chromebook distribution. If that information hasn't gone out already, it should be going out soon. I think they are still hammering out a few details as to trying to offer a off work hour time, which they haven't nailed yet. So they're still working on the pickup times or distribution times for, like I said, I'm pretty sure it is Monday. 7th grade science/biology class look like in regard to labs? At this point, there's not going to be a lot of labs with hands-on sharing of materials. We can't have that. So the labs will be a lot of demonstration from the teachers. And then there's also a lot of virtual labs that will happen as well. Where we were investing in some Kessler science resources too, which have a lot of great virtual lab kind of activities. Should we expect that the remote schedule and the teachers be available this weekend also? And will they have orientation on Tuesday as well? Yeah, remote schedule, we're getting much closer, spent many hours actually on that today. They will have an orientation on Tuesday. I spoke to them. We were talking about doing it at 10:30, but that wasn't established as a set time yet. So I will get that out, that information out this weekend as well for the remote students. For Title I assistance, there is basically we are so stretched thin with resources. Our Title I assistance is at a minimum. We have yet to nail that down. It's questionable if we will be able to provide full Title I assistance as we have done in the past. Next question, is there a plan to add additional school days as the COVID risk lessens? Also, is there a threshold that gets tripped, the number of students, faculty testing positive that would trigger remote only for all students? I have not been made aware of a threshold. What we do is our school nurse and the superintendent's office is staying in close contact with all of the town departments of health and the town nurses and the town nurses and also our school physicians, and that is our where we're going to for guidance on as whether we need to go to full remote or not, if that be the case. As far as additional school days at this time, no, we're doing 170 school days. No additional days have been scheduled in the school calendar. So, and then there could always be an executive order from the governor down as far as going to remote, and that is another authority that could put us into remote immediately. But our main goal is to make sure that we're ready to transition very quickly into a full remote mode with the hybrid kids if we need to. So on the supply list, do you know which, if any, supplies will remain in the classroom? So if needed, we should stock up at home too. I don't know the answer to that question. That is a question that you would want to ask the team. Will the ORHH library be open? Will items be quarantined after they are returned, or will it be business as usual? Our librarian is going to be teaching a class called Digital Literacy. And so because of that, the library is going to have minimal access. She has a whole system to electronically request free reading books and research books from the library and have them delivered. And then once they are returned, she's going to follow the CDC protocols for quarantining the books to make sure, and sanitizing the books to make sure that they are clean before passed on to another student. Will they be changing for PE or have access to the locker rooms? They will not be changing for PE, and they will not be using the locker rooms. We've actually had very little use of very little changing in the past many years for PE, and there's very little use of access to the locker rooms. It's very rare. Can classroom windows and doors be open to increase airflow? Yes, classroom windows and doors can be open to increase airflow. It is our understanding, though, that all of the test results of air quality and operation ability of the HVAC system is that everything is good to go. When we do open the windows, we do add stressors to the system, and as well as the filtration system. So it is possible. It's not necessarily a recommended thing to do, but we did purposely design it so that all kids in classrooms are in classrooms with windows that can open. Question: if your child has a Chrome, should they still pick up a Chrome? If not, are they bringing theirs back and forth? Yes, they should still pick up a Chrome, and they can bring it back and forth, the school issued Chromebook. Next question: if there is an older sibling in high school that you are also picking up, should they walk to the JHS for pickup? Are the times coordinated between schools? So if there's an older sibling at the high school that you're also picking up, they can, they can walk between schools. Are times coordinated? They aren't coordinated. They are slightly different. I know that the high school has designated multiple ports of entry for the high school to distribute the load on the building, if you will, and density of students coming into the building. We're doing the same thing when kids come to school. If they're getting dropped off by a parent, if you come into the horseshoe by the flagpole, 7th graders are to be dropped off at the main entrance and then head to their classrooms from there. 8th graders are to be dropped off at the lower entrance, and they have a more direct route to their classrooms directly through the lower entrance, and it immediately separates all 7th and 8th graders, and it separates 8th graders as soon as they come through the door, and just a little bit down the hallway, and then the 7th graders are separated into their different hallways as well. But as in the past, outside walking is fine. As far as if you want a child to pick up your child at the high school or vice versa, whoever is going to walk, they can walk. If they're walking though, they should come in the front entrance. Once again, 7th grade through the main entrance and 8th graders through the lower entrance. Question: how will students participate in accelerated math if they do not change classrooms? The accelerated math is a group of kids that stays together all day long. It is an accelerated math group, and they will stay together for English, social studies, world language, science, and their exploratories as well. What is the daily mask protocol for kids? Well, kids should always be wearing their masks on the bus. As soon as they are exit the vehicle, if they're getting dropped off, they should don their mask. They should wear their mask always in the hallways and in the classroom. We are having 4 class periods per day. Every class period, they will get a mask break, and we are always going to do those outside, socially distanced as much as possible. We're still trying to figure out the best way to have inside mask breaks if the weather is bad. And so yeah, there are those, and there are a couple other breaks where they could have a few additional mask breaks, and they will wear their mask down to the cafeteria, which is the auditorium this year. And when they eat lunch, they can take their mask off. We're going to have lanyards for all the kids so that they don't have to put their mask on their desk or on the floor or hang it off their ear. they will have a lanyard so they can just rest the mask around their neck and then eat their lunch. And then when they're done with their lunch, they can don their mask back on and they will then be brought back up to their classrooms. Question, if a child is at home for 2 weeks due to quarantine, will they switch to remote learning? No, they stay in hybrid, and we're going to have to do what we can to support them to keep up with the learning and missed work for when they miss the in days. And so it's basically just like if we were in school and you missed school. So we're not switching to remote learning for kids that are quarantined for 2 weeks. The high school nurse has emailed forms to be filled out this week. Is that something that the junior high nurse will be emailing as well? I don't know. I will take a note and find out what she's emailing and see if our nurse has the same plan. If you're unable to pick a Chromebook up today, is there another pickup time? Yes, there will be. I don't know when that is, though. I did not receive that communication, but we will get that out again. Like I said, I thought it was Monday, not today. I think some of the other schools had Chromebook pickup today, but not the junior high. Is there a possibility of moving from 2 to 4 days in school as the risk of COVID lessens? I think all of our desire is to get more time in the building, and that's something that we'll be monitoring. And I'm not aware, I don't know what the entire process will be. I know that one of the things that would have to happen is some of the guidance and regulations would have to be loosened for sure for us to be able to get more kids in the building. Transportation obviously is one of our biggest hurdles. And then also same thing with the distancing in the classroom. Some loosening would have to happen there as well for us to be able to get to more days in the building. But it is definitely a hope and desire for us. Are there hydration stations similar to the high school in the building? And if so, are students going to be able to use them? We do not have hydration stations in the building like the high school. Those were, I'm pretty sure, a donation at some point. So we don't have those. So please send your child to school with a large full water bottle. They will be able to, during mask breaks, they'll be able to have water breaks, and they will also be able to take sips of water lifting up their mask while in class. Is there another time besides Monday to pick up the Chromebook? We're going away Friday to Tuesday afternoon. I am not aware of another time. If it's not on Monday, it'll have to probably be on when they come to school on Thursday. When will we find out the transportation times for the bus? Like I said, they're at the 95% solution. There was just so much change going on. They actually just finally said, okay, we got to stop trying to adjust for all these changes. They've made more than 6 changes to all the bus routes because of all the changes that kept coming through. So now they're saying, okay, from this point forward, we're on a waiting list because it's pretty much at capacity. And so now that they've stopped the moving target, they're going to be able to publish that soon. I have not got an actual time of when that will come out, but I was told that is the status. We're at the 95% solution, and so we're really close to getting those bus routes and times soon. Question, do the kids need a note to be picked up by another adult? Are they signed out like at the elementary level? So yes, kids do need a note to be picked up by another adult, and they are signed out at like elementary. So please send that note in the morning, and then we will go through a reporting process and sign out process. That's standard. The orientation for Tuesday is not geared towards parents. It is geared towards students. If your child has medical issues, should you be reaching out to the nurse? I left a message with no return. Yes, I would try leaving another message. I know that our phones were in flux. We have a brand new phone system, so you might want to try again. You could also zip her an email. That's lindadevoe@oldrochester.org. Drop-off times in the morning. We ask that students come in after 7:10, and they really need to be in their room by 7:25. Is there a student handbook that tells all the rules, days can be missed, etc.? Yes, we have a student handbook, and we will publish that electronically for everyone. We are currently working on an addendum due to the change of business with hybrid out learning and remote learning. Oh, thank you. Chromebook pickup is Monday, 9 to 11 or 1 to 3. So between 9 and 11 in the morning, or between 1 and 3 in the afternoon. And like I said, there's some talk of possibly a third one after work hours. That one, I guess, is the one that hasn't been established yet. Thank you, Tanji. Appreciate that. Bathroom breaks. Bathroom breaks are going to be just like any other time in school. The kid will be able to ask to use the restroom, sign out. They should already have their mask on, wear their mask. When they go down to the bathroom, they need to see if anyone is in the restroom. Someone is in the restroom. There are 3 waiting spots outside the restroom for them to wait on those dots. They are 6 feet apart. They're to keep their mask on and wait for their turn to use the restroom. And we're also putting up hand washing signs and encouraging hand washing regularly, as is normal when using the restroom. How will we be notified about bus schedules and locations? Typically in the past on the website, they are published, and you can look at, we publish, the different buses have different routes published, and you look through the routes and see where the stops are and figure out where your closest stop would be. So yeah, I haven't seen it yet because it's not published. But I know that the buses are also going to have better signage than they have in the past, as far as numbers on the side. And there will also be markings on the seats as to where children are supposed to sit. The junior high students always sit in the front of the bus, and the high school kids sit in the back of the bus. And we are discussing how we might do assigned seats. Question is, can buses drive us to a different house if we have a note? If it's the same bus and you already have your bus slot on that bus, I would say the answer to that is yes. We would need a note so that we can make sure the bus driver knows that you're getting off at a different bus stop for that bus. If it is a whole different bus, we are creating a transportation request form, because using a different bus we have to make sure that there is a spot on the bus. And like I said, we're basically at capacity for the most part, with little room left over on the buses. And we would need to make sure that that's possible. And there's also people who are going to be on the waiting list, so that would be taken into account. So if it's on the same bus and you're just using, if you're getting on a different bus and have a different bus stop from a different bus to go to, that's a much more complicated answer, and you'd have to put in a request and be on a waiting list for that. What is the average class size? The average is going to be around 10 students per class, as in a group of kids sitting in a classroom. The average size is 10. Some are a little smaller, some are a little bigger, but the average is 10. Does a parent need to be present to pick up Chromebooks if you've already filled out the terms of agreement? I'm not 100% confident answer. I'm not 100% confident to answer this question. I would think yes. If you've signed the agreement, then you are taking responsibility for that Chromebook. So I would think you would be able to have someone pick it up as long as they have a copy that the agreement they know and have a copy of the agreement signed, and you're willing to take that risk of having someone else pick it up. If you have a child in the same grade as the other and one is virtually only due to chronic illness and has appointments that the child in school has to go to, how can that be worked out? That we would have to have a conversation about that. I probably need to know more about that. So you can contact us and we can enter into a conversation regarding your situation. Same, it's like, can another family pick up our Chromebook on Monday? I'd say same answer. If it's already if you've already turned in the agreement and they have a copy of the signed agreement, I would say that it would be okay for someone to pick up the Chromebook, but I do not know what was put out on the communication. So I'm not 100% sure. But like I said, if you've already signed liability away and are willing to the risk of have someone else pick it up, it seems like a reasonable thing, but I'm not the deciding authority on that. Regarding bathroom breaks, what happens if 3 spots are already filled? No, I didn't answer this question. If the 3 spots are already filled, the child should return to their classroom and let the teacher know the bathroom was full and may I go back in a few more minutes to see if some spots have opened up. When picking up the Chromebooks on Monday, do we come into the building? Do we line up in our cars? What will be the process? It should be kind of, I was not involved in the plan for the Chromebook distribution. What I, in a sense, overheard is, and if it's anything like what we've done in the past with locker cleanout pickup and other pickup situations like yearbook and stuff, what we've done is it's kind of like a drive up, stay in your car, you tell them who you are, they will retrieve the Chromebook. The Chromebooks are already, from what I understand, in an envelope with names already on it, already pre-assigned. And so then you would go around to the other side or in that same spot and they would hand you your pre-assigned Chromebook. Question, will JHS and HS siblings have to sit together? And if so, would they sit in the junior high school or high school seats? What the assistant superintendent of facilities and operations said today is that even if they're the same siblings on the bus, they don't have to sit together. It just, you can keep the distance apart, sitting in the different seats. I think that was some original information that went out that we could save some seats, but the way I understood it today, and I didn't misunderstand it, but even if they decided to sit together as siblings, that just would mean other seats would remain empty. So it'd be better off just from everybody's perspective to sit in their assigned seats so they could sit differently and not have to sit together. That's what it seemed, that's how I understood it today. That is something that could change maybe. What time does virtual learning begin? Virtual learning, well, the day, let me make sure I say the right thing. The day, basically every day starts at 7:35 a.m. is when the learning kicks off. So 7:35 is when everything's gonna kick off. And that is basically across the board. The Chromebook pickup for both JHS and HS is at the HS Bulldog entrance. So the entrance, the drive around with the big white wood Bulldog. Thank you, Carrie Ann, for that answer. I don't know why I was not included on that communique. Well, that was a lot different than the last one. I didn't even have a moment to take a breath. Last question and answer. I only made it through about half of them. Just a reminder, for in case you're coming in a little bit later, great, I got some more questions coming. Just a reminder, in case you missed it, we're doing a virtual initial student orientation. We're going to have more orientation for the kids, more than just this, but an initial student orientation, 7th grade on Tuesday, 7th and 8th grade, Tuesday, September 15th, 7th grade at 10 o'clock, 8th grade at 11 o'clock. It's for the students. If they're going to be team-based, and the teams are creating basically some initial foundational, fundamental, help the kids get into their first day of remote learning on Wednesday the 16th, which is a full day remote learning, and they'll experience all of their classes, all 8 classes that day. And then during that day, there's going to be a lot of preparation for helping them understand how to operate and function and do well and be safe in the building. And then for the first 2 days, they'll get to meet all of their teachers. So we're running 8-day schedules instead of 4-day schedules, so that the kids can hopefully start to get a little bit settled in and connected with who they're going to be with other students and who they're going to be with their teachers within the first 3 days. So it's going to be a lot of learning, just the protocols and the safety measures and the way the classes are going to be like, and all the such. All right. So, what I need, just a reminder, in case you didn't hear me before, what I need help on with that is we're going to get those Zoom links out, like I said, but hopefully by weekends end, before weekends end, I'll get a whole bunch of information out by email. Part of that will be the Zoom links for those student Tuesday orientations. If you could help the kids get on that. And then Tuesday night, what we're really going to need is help making sure those kids accept their invitations to the Google Classroom, because Wednesday is going to be all remote, and the primary method of connecting with those kids using the Zoom and is going to be through the Google Classroom to get those Zoom links to those kids so that they can get connected to their classes. So, hey, going to need your support on that. Thank you. Okay, let's get back to some of these questions. So the students will need to bring the Chromebook back to school on their hybrid in days. Yes, the Chromebooks should be something that I would think you'd want traveling back and forth each day. I think we're gonna end up back with the backpacks. There's gonna be no locker use, so we're back with the backpacks, hanging backpacks probably off the back of their chairs. And so, yeah, carrying the Chromebook, so they have the Chromebook in class. Hopefully help them to keep it charged at night. And hopefully the Chromebook will make it through the day. We'll hopefully have some backup power supplies for those kids who are in need. And then take it home, and because you always want to have that Chromebook home, because like I said, you never know, the governor could say something, all of a sudden the superintendent, based on the local situation, could close school and send us right into remote. We want to be ready the next day to jump right into remote learning if the need arises. How many remote students will be in the remote meetings? So the first day, it's going to be all of the kids. So you're looking at 20 kids in those remote meetings. Approximately, there's like 10 in a classroom at a time live per day. And that's approximately 20 kids per class when they're combined on those Mondays. And that's what it'll be, about 20 kids per class during the remote meetings on Mondays. We have about 40 kids that are full remote, and it's just about split. It's a little bit heavier on the 8th grade side, so those classes are going to be approximately 20 piece with 40 kids in remote. So yeah, we received a letter during the summer saying that we would be in extra help math class. How often we'll be able to receive this class? That extra help math class, because of all of this radical change with hybrid in, hybrid out, remote learning, and stretching our resources to the maximum, is not going to happen. So that went out early without the awareness, and I apologize for that of the situation. Of what returning to school was going to be like. That was before we started getting all of this guidance from the Department of Education, the State Department of Education. Is there going to be traffic directing? Hopefully, we will have Officer McGraw, our school resource officer, out there, and Bill Tilden. They're usually out there helping with traffic. I will be in the front helping the kids know which door to enter through if they're getting dropped off. And my assistant principal, Kelly Chenard, will be out back helping the kids getting off the bus and help them enter into the proper entrance that they're supposed to enter into. And then staff will be helping the kids arrive where they need to arrive to. I know that a lot of them are also already made videos to help the kids have a preview, virtual preview of what it'll be like arriving to school on Thursday and Friday next week, a week from today. How do we find out what days our child goes in person? Like I said, once I get the cohorts out, I'll, with all that other information, schedules, Zoom links, and all that stuff, I thought I would combine it all together. That will be part of that information as far as what. And for the most part, it's A through K are Monday and, or pardon me, Tuesday and Thursday in the building, and L through Z, Wednesday and Friday in the building. We do have some exceptions to help kids get services. Thank you for the encouragement, anonymous attendee. The 7th grade guidance counselor's name is Julie Taylor. Julie Taylor at oldrochester.org is her email address. And the nurse is Linda DeVoe, D-E-V-E-A-U. At oldrochester.org, Linda DeVoe. Oh, thank you, Angie. The remote team is planning an orientation at 10:30. So they told me 10:30. I just wasn't confident that that was what they decided on. So yes, 10:30 on the 15th, remote team will be doing their orientation as well. Thanks, Angie. Appreciate it. There are still the regularly planned school vacations. They have not changed. The remote kids will have an orientation on Tuesday as well, as I just said. Thank you, Ms. Vaughn. She's a great part of the team here at the junior high and always doing what's best for the kids. And she just let us know that it will be at 10:30. And so that will be part of the communication we get out before weekends end. So you will have a Zoom link to join when in on the remote team. What do parents do for their children who never got the summer reading list until yesterday? I would just do the best you can. It's not the end of the world. If they aren't unable to get the whole book read in that time, their ELA teachers, I'm sure, will help and support them, and they're very understanding. And so I wouldn't worry about it. I would just read what you can between now and then your ELA teachers, the ELA teachers will help you out in moving forward. So as far as remote learning is, or the question is, will it be live all day or will they be expected to just check in? So the remote learning is going to follow the same schedule as everybody else. There'll be attendance taken. Now, I don't think it would be beneficial or healthy for 7th and 8th graders to spend the entire day on a screen, but it's also not just check-in. So it is going to be somewhere in between. They should be getting some live instruction, but that live instruction may not be for the entire time designated for their learning for that subject, for that class period. It may be, a lesson in the beginning, get some instruction, go work on this, come back to the Zoom, answer questions, follow through, maybe initiate another activity. So it'll be a bit more of an in and out rather than all live or just check in, I think. And the remote team will work together too to collaborate so that it's not all live all day, because there may be times where you just need the whole time to be live with the kids, and that's fine. We just don't want it all live all the time, all day long for the kids. I think we'll start to lose engagement if we do that. We are new to the district. Will I receive an email with my daughter's Google Classroom info and Zoom info? I email that comes but never receive it. Yeah, send me an email as well. Silas Colner, SILASCOELLNER @oldrochester.org, and I will make sure you get that Google Classroom info. Okay. Once again, much easier than the 250 questions. I only made through 140 last time. 60 seems easy. Yeah. No, none of this has been easy. That being said, oh, here we go. Were we supposed to sign up to use the bus? I don't recall any communication regarding this. When we sent out your choice, whether you're going to do hybrid or remote, we asked also if you planned on taking advantage of school lunch and school breakfast, and also if you were going to use school transportation. So that was the survey that went out, and hopefully you got that survey and filled it out. If you did not get that survey, please send me an email and I will get that survey out to you. But as far as bus goes at this point, like I said, it would be a waiting list situation. Any other questions for the evening? All right, well, I appreciate everyone's time and effort and support in helping us get through this. I really appreciate your patience. I wish I could get more detailed information out to you more often. But I promise we're working as hard as we can, and we're getting things out as fast as we can. And if you're not getting information, like you just found out about this or whatever, you even heard through the grapevine, please send me an email. I can make sure you're on our email list and distribution list to make sure you're getting the information as well. But once again, thank you for your patience. Thank you for your support. It's a privilege to work in this in the Tri-Town community. And I just thank you for your support once again. And I can't wait to see your kids. I'm just so looking forward to seeing your kids and face to face and helping them learn and grow and mature and be prepared to do great things in this world. All right, have a great night. Thank you. And I will let you know if we have another one of these. If not, you can expect one in the beginning of October for an open house. All right, thanks. Have a great night. Goodbye.